Hey guys, I hope everyone is doing and feeling great today. I just wanted to drop by really quickly and talk about some of the latest things that I have been seeing in scams around the remote world. And so I know we are always vigilant, but we can never be too vigilant because these scammers out here are just ruthless. So one of the things that I've been seeing kind of making a resurgence is the scams that come from the job boards. So if you use any of the job boards to apply to a job, you may have seen that feature where they say like, do you want to submit your resume so that it goes into this pile of resumes and job seekers can find you and match you with available opportunities. And so a lot of people use that feature thinking, hey, it can't hurt. Maybe a company will find me based off of my skills on my resume. But what I have been seeing a lot of, and this isn't new, again, this has been going on, but scammers kind of chilled out on it. Now they're bringing it back, is I see a lot of scammers going to that pile and then getting your resume, and that's how they get your contact information. And now they're reaching out saying, hey, we have an interview for you. We have an opportunity for you. And, they don't have anything but a scam for you. So one of the ways that you can avoid that is just don't let Indeed or, any of these companies put your resume in that pile. When you're applying to these jobs, just go directly to the company's website. That way, you gave it directly to the company versus someone who can, distribute it to anyone and everyone. So that's one of the first tips that I can give you about just avoiding scams. That's something I've been seeing a lot lately. And some people are like, how did they get my resume? And I discovered like, okay, well, are you putting your resume on these job boards where they're kind of like putting it in a pile? Yeah. Okay, that's how they got it. And so they're running this one back again. So, just don't give it to the job boards. The second scam that I've been seeing a lot of are the something therapeutic jobs. So there are a lot of scams that are claiming to be from, insert blank therapeutics. And there are real companies called, something therapeutics. Like, for example, there's a company called Prime Therapeutics. It is a real company, but there are a lot of scammers out here saying that they have an interview for you and it's with a company called something therapeutics. And I actually discovered a Reddit thread about this. It'll usually be for a data entry job. And they're gonna, do the interview and it's just gonna seem super scammy and sketchy. And so I think that's why there is a Reddit thread for this. I had some people on my channel have, some comment dialogue going on asking if I had shared that company before. And I said no. And that's what led me to the Reddit thread where it's pretty much everyone with the same story. They, just switch the names out, but it's not a real opportunity. And you'll know if something is legitimate if you do a little bit of research on the company. I always tell everyone, go to Glassdoor, check out the company's Glassdoor profile, check out the company's LinkedIn profile, check out any of their socials. Make sure that you see real people actually working there and you can see that on their LinkedIn. Do a Google search for the company. If they have a number available, call the company and see who answers and if it's actually like the real company. There's a lot of telltale signs, and I actually have a freebie. It's literally just a freebie checklist on how to verify if a company is legitimate and if an opportunity is legitimate. That's in the description box below, but you might see that scam going around often right now. So just be aware. One of the other things that I want to point out is nothing legit ever happens on WhatsApp or Telegram. And then there's another one, I can't think of it right now, but I'll make it pop up on the screen. If a company is ever talking about doing an interview on any of those platforms, like don't even bother. Companies will usually interview via Zoom or Teams, or they may have their own proprietary software. So if you're interviewing with like a major company, they might have their own like internal video conferencing software that they use for interviews, but it'll never deviate from those three. So if you're ever invited to do an interview on WhatsApp or Telegram or, the other one, just no, it's not legit. It's a scam. Now, here are just a few other things that I can, point out about verifying a job. Of course, if you go through the checklist, then you'll know 100% whether it's legit or not, but just some red flags that you want to think about. If you never applied to the job, but they're offering you an interview or even just skipping to offering you the job, that's just a telltale sign that it's a scam. If the person is not on LinkedIn, like every hiring manager, every recruiter, everyone in HR is on LinkedIn in 2025 and beyond, just ignore it. Okay, it's not legit. If the pay is just unusually high for the job that you're doing. They love to do this with data entry jobs because everyone's looking for, something simple, something pretty easy, doesn't really require you talking on a phone. So, those are in demand type jobs. Everyone's looking for that. Plus, who doesn't want to get paid well? So scammers know that, and they tend to make those jobs what they use to scam you with. And they'll say something like, oh, this simple typing data entry job pays $30 or, $35 per hour. And that sounds really good, but it's a scam. Also, be aware of jobs that mention, like loosey-goosey schedules, like, oh, work whenever you want, make your own hours. There are some opportunities like that, like 1099 roles. However, the thing about those is you're making your hours within the company's operation times. So, if you're doing a 1099 role, your hours are going to fall within the time that company is open. You're not going to be able to just make your hours whenever you want. And also, you have to make those schedules like a week out minimum. So any kind of role that says, oh, work whenever you want, make your own hours. If it's not a 1099 role with a verified company, which, you can verify with that checklist that I mentioned, then it's definitely a scam because there's no such opportunity out there where you can just clock in when, you decide you want to clock in. Every single company wants to know at least a week out when you're going to be working. So those are some of the tips that I can offer you all about avoiding scams, what's going on in, the current setting and stuff with remote work. It's crazy out here, but there are a lot of legitimate companies, a lot of real opportunities out here, and you just want to make sure that you're always doing your due diligence. So that freebie checklist in the description box below is going to be a very helpful guide. And if you need resume help, I have a resume software called the Remote Resume Builder software. We have tons of templates you can try out for just $1 during our 7-day trial, and it makes it easy to customize your resume and get your application in. We also have tons of cover letter templates, and it's super easy to customize the cover letter templates as well. We also have Extra Leads Club. If you don't want to do the job hunting, we'll do it for you. It's only $10 a month, and we upload hundreds of leads to the Extra Leads Club app every single week, and you have plenty to choose from. Get your application in and be on your way to working from home. We also have a free resource called the Mega List of Jobs. This is where I add all the companies that I share in my videos, and you can search the Mega List. So if there's something in particular you're looking for, the Mega List has you covered. And of course, if you need work from home equipment, check out my Amazon storefront. There's tons of equipment that Amazon sells. Some of it's refurbished, but it's good. I've purchased many of these refurbished computers for family members, and they do just what you need them to do. So check out my Amazon storefront, the Mega List of Jobs, join Extra Leads Club today, and try out the software for just $1. So I hope these tips have helped you, and I'd love to hear from y'all what you guys are seeing going on in the wonderful world of remote work as it pertains to these scams. Have you been seeing any of these things that I mentioned? And if so, how are you navigating them? So I hope to see you guys in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this was helpful, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.